Every game has its supporters, whether it's Puyo Puyo, American football, or even tic-tac-toe. Of course, ARMS is no different. After all, why else would this video be on this channel if ARMS didn't fit the bill? Nonetheless, ARMS' widespread fanbase can be further partitioned into smaller fanbases per character, which is the subject of today's installment. Many fighters have their own tumultuous tailgaters, some have fervent followers, and a few boil down to being belligerent bandwagoners. 15 in-universe fighters, 15 in-universe fanbases. Seems like sound math to us. But anyways. Hey y'all. We're Frosty and LOSER, and we welcome you to Ohio ARMS. Today we're determining which ARMS fighters fanbase is truly the best, and more importantly, which is downright the worst.
And they get to poop on the robot.
They poop on the robot?
As you hopefully just read, the quintessential worst ARMS fighter fanbase is Springtrons. To get into why, we'll need to briefly detail an important metric: what qualifies as a fan of any given fighter? Each fighter has their own stage that features a crowd, so we can assume that said audience is composed of only fans of the stage's owner. All fans on a stage in-game will be assumed to be in the home stage fighter's fanbase, regardless of what clothes they are wearing. If it seems like fans are being traitorous, they're likely just giving the opposition some pity-based motivation. Alright, we can finally get to the fans that pepper Springtron's home stage. Oh, any and all audience members seem to be obfuscated from our view entirely, so that's the reason they're in last place. They don't even show up to their favorite fighter's phrase. Well, are there any instances of Springtron's fans actually existing? Yes, to be exact, there's one. If a player were to manage success with the Mean Machine in Grand Prix, they're met with an image sporting a rare interaction between him and his uneasy band of groupies. With their existence proven, we can say that they look cooler than one would expect from fans of the clone of ARMS' premier tutorial character, but that can only carry them so far. Another problematic portion of this picture is the purported lack of trust Springtron's fans have with him. Good fans should be loving and blindly supportive after all. Coupled with cameras being the only way to catch his home games, Springtron is left without a trustworthy turnout of excitable ARMS watchers. As a result, Springtron's fanbase is uncontestedly the worst of the bunch, though one other batch clearly grew from the same springish vine as the machines.
Boing boing, look at those white people bounce.
Everyone knows that one guy who never seems to win, and yet, somehow, they still have their own dedicated fans. Springman though, rarely ever wins, and he has no fans. Well, he has to have some or else he wouldn't be worth mentioning at all, especially after Springtron's embarrassing display. The proverbial tutorial character's so-called fans are plentiful enough to fill an entire stadium, but are they really? Biff himself has gone on record to say that Spring Stadium's proximity to local train station contributes to its fullness, so perhaps these are all fake fans. Where could the real ones be? Perhaps over here? No? Here some are. What we're looking at must be Springman's only fans. They give off a palpable energy, but something about their outfits feel almost store-bought. The iconic springy pompadour is just sitting atop their heads, no effort to truly mimic their object of affection. It's a shame too, the Springer's adoration for the first, scratch that. He was revealed second, the series mascot, scratch that. Everyone is the mascot of ARMS apparently. Their adoration of the current bouncer himself is evidently strong, but his fans surely don't do anything impressive to show it.
I love gold.
Completely unintentionally, all of the Deflect Dudes squads coalesced at the back end of this ranking. The Commissioner's fan base is one honed over years and years of winning, much unlike the supposed tutorial character's tenure, but Max's treatment of them is highly questionable. He built the illustrious Sky Arena himself, perfectly in view of the sun, which of course includes its seating. For some reason, a portion of his fans were gifted the prestigious view of the bottom of the stage. Some of them have it better of course, but no other stage in the game has such a strange oversight. Well, undersight in this case. Perhaps this is more so a problem with Max Brass's lack of an architecture degree though. It can at least be said that only fans of the commissioned on a decadent decoration upon their domes and faux championship belts around their waists, all fitting for fans of a fabulous face. They do what they can at the end of the Grand Prix, but it's all standard fare for other fan bases. The Max Brass section can cheer their hearts out, but their home field antics just don't reach the heights necessary to make for an outstanding group of fans.
Oh, whoa, chill, it's just a mask. See? Don't freak out.
This fan base presents a unique situation. Missango's only fans are trained from birth to love arms unconditionally. Unfortunately for us, this means ranking the Missangan people instead of Missango's fan base, semantically speaking at least. Nonetheless, this group of arms devoted denizens are the epitome of arms fans, but this quality comes with a few drawbacks. Despite being overly enthusiastic for the world's most popular sport, Missangans are a bit single-minded in their enthusiasm for our world's least popular fighter. They seemingly only acknowledge Missango and Biff's existences, not even knowing one popular tune from Ribbon Girl's discography. Adding on to this, Missangans wear a simulacrum of their spirited fighter which looks a bit unspirited frankly. The wig is poorly incorporated onto their heads, but the rest looks nice. If not for it clashing with their bright red tennis shoes, Missango himself doesn't even wear shoes. Ignoring these hiccups however, the Missangans are at least properly representative of their culture and support their fighter regardless of his tier list position. Braving the jungle just to watch your beloved fighter lose to Ninjara would be pretty disheartening though.
Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go, 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 go.
Have you ever had your school's team get to the playoffs and then you're forced to cheer for them despite not caring all that much? Yeah, that's Ninjara's fan base. Since his stage is his school, it's safe to assume all of the fans there are likely students too. Having a visible crowd of ninjas is a bit counterintuitive, though Ninjara's fan turnout does seem a bit low. Maybe a few students are finally getting C's at minimum. With what fans we have to go off of, they are certainly ninjas. The student body of Rasen Ninjutsu University is a bit situationally unaware at times, but their loyalty to the student of stealth shines as much as a throwing star reasonably can. As an additional advantage, his OnlyFans being a legion of authentic ninjas is pretty cool, and them being so supportive of an academic great is a nice push towards a more inclusive categorization of popular kids. Whether or not this will remain a trend after Ninjara graduates has yet to be seen however.
I don't know if you could tell, but I have patterned my whole look after you.
Twintel herself is a rare triple threat in the world of arms. She's a fighter, an actress, and a singer. Does this mean that her fan base is 3 times the size of everyone else's? Possibly, but that has yet to be scientifically tested or proven. Regardless though, the Silver Screen Queen's fans are all over Cinema Do, with some even helming cameras to record her matches there. Others can be seen on the lavish red carpet, which would imply that they have VIP access to Twintel HQ. Despite this treatment, it seems that they don't return the favor, as her Grand Prix end card showcases a movie premiere full of bland-headed citizens. Where are their Twintel brand Twintails? Shouldn't the theater be packed full of only fans of the movie star? This audience might reek of her official perfume to show their support, but why not go the extra mile of physically wearing Twintel gear? The Twinners are clearly present during in-game matches, but they lack that rampantly rabid intensity elsewhere in their lives. As everyone knows, you aren't a true fan base if you don't live to show your love throughout every aspect of your day.
It's karaoke time!
Well, don't worry me.
Fans of the Eris might be the most commonly depicted fan base throughout all official arms art. Whether it's intimidating intellectuals, dredging for directions, or receiving rewards from Ribbon Claws herself, they're all over the planet repping her colors. According to Biff, there are 50,000 fans packed into Ribbon Ring, which supports this fan base's frequency, although within the ring they are shrouded in shadows. Their obfuscation may mean that this massive mosh pit is actually made up of animatronics, but Ribbon Girl doesn't have connections to any major robotics firms, that we know of anyways. Other than the fan base's size, their veracity is notable as well. The Ribboners aren't afraid to be aggressive against other fan bases, most notably the Miss Angans and Dr. Coyle's Sour Bunch. Pop stars are known to have powerful posses, even ones made up of only fans, and this equally applies both in our world and the ARMS one. Ribbon Girls fans are aggressive like no others, but outside of that they are, or at least some are, full-grown men wearing ponytails and bows while basking in wreaths of sparkly pink light. In these sensitive times there's not anything wrong with that, but you have to admit that it's not the best look aesthetically speaking.
On the trash can.
Working in a junkyard allows one to be quite resourceful, and for the assumed staff of scrapyard this is no different. For aesthetic purposes though, this results in a somewhat trashy appearance, literally this time around. Having your OnlyFans be gallivanting around the workplace in garbage cans is quite the sight, but that's not what makes this workforce special. Instead, behold their bold behavior. Their dedication to Mechanica's armsing manifests in a dangerous display of adoration that can only be described as death-defying. Of course, assuming all of her fans are devoted employees, Mechanica's fan base is well equipped to traverse scrapyard with ease, but even still, seeing civilians in trash cans balance on beams that were never meant for trash can balancers is still impressive to see. This devotion also carries through the fact that those costumes cannot be comfortable to wear, which is the main limiting factor in their journey further through this ranking.
I'm a doctor, as far as you know.
Part 2 of the uncomfortable fanwear trilogy is none other than the Secret Society. This informal organization of sorts has the odd honor of being the only fans to truly make appearances on 2 stages in game. This, of course, is referring to their spontaneous materialization on Sky Arena during the oldest female fighters Grand Prix hijacking. Regardless of their supernatural abilities, the Secret Society also has the know-how to find the rad scientist's hidden base. If her lab's name isn't truly known, then its location is equally mysterious, but Dr. Coyle's loyalists surely have both in their memory at all times. Her fans are so loyal that they are completely content with being confined to a cold cage as long as they can watch their glorious leaders' home games. On top of this, their garb is greatly improved over scrapyard staff's garbage-based attire, since it allows for much more mobility and, while it is visibly metallic, definitely has less putrid points in the trash can department. With all of this said, the Secret Society is a formidable fan base for certain, but their slick hair and devious methods can only bring them so far. In this case, bad guys don't finish first, but they don't finish last either.
With a superpowered mind, a mechanical canine.
Anonymity in the face of law enforcement is the way to go if the busters have any say in things. Whether they like or respect the Clockwork Cop is a less clear path, though we're led to believe they probably lispect him, or at minimum his item finding Fido. Bite and Bark's fan base's law-abiding behavior is seen through their etiquette during battles on Buster Beach. We're on the side that this is out of pure lispect and not fear of the other K9000 models standing watch, but this has yet to be scientifically tested or proven in any capacity. Nonetheless, the Buster's wardrobe is next on our scrutinizing schedule, so let's slide right in. Although the Busters are said to be fans of both Bite and Bark, their visuals are loudly declaring that they might be only fans of Bark. A hollowed out bark head, with an accompanying wind-up key and an adorable tongue, creates an unforgettable, and equally uncomfortable, sight, which undoubtedly makes Bite and Bark's fan base stand apart in the aesthetic department. Despite the Busters' forgetfulness being noted upon their list of qualities by Biff, their costumes are truly something unforgettable. Regardless of how we feel about the man of mystery in our world, he's seen as a bit of a horror beyond human comprehension in his own world. Or at least that's how he's occasionally treated. Mainly by Biff honestly. Ignoring Biff's bias, Helix certainly has a group of fans at his disposal, and this isn't even taking into account how many people were swayed by the deliciousness of Helix juice. His ragtag group of goobers can look past his apparent abhorrent appearance, which is commendable in its own right. Getting access to the NL app is also kinda commendable, but their behavior there is kinda generic, so let's gloss right over it. This is the first fan base to have things in their hands. If this is by choice or by force has not yet been scientifically tested or proven, however. These Helix-ish weenies are easy to hold, and even easier to behold, and only fans of Helix have the privilege to own at least 2 of them. To dress these weenies further, goobers also sport fun goggles and tendrils akin to the NA Man. Since they provide similar visual interest compared to their on Helix counterparts though, there's not much to further elaborate on. Helix's fans do have heterochromatic footwear at least, which help match Helix's wackiness. Overall, Helix's fan base is more solid on our ranking than the fighter's physical state, which certainly contributed positive points in regards to their top 5 position here.
Noodles?
Noodles? You were really dreaming about noodles?
Yeah. What else would I be dreaming about?
The producer of the Nintendo ARMS game is of course Kosuke Yabuki, and he is a well-renowned Min fan. In fact, when asked which ARMS fighter he would go on a date with, he answered that a ramen rendezvous with the ramen bomber herself would be a swell endeavor. This is tantalizing trivia, but this ranking is all about fans actually in the world of ARMS. Yabuki is listed in the credits of the game though. How about we consider him as a unique member of the Pasta Pals as a compromise? Sure, that works. Anyways, back to the digital fan base. Their love for Min and ramen is spilled all over Ramen Bowl. Seriously, they're on top of buildings, throughout the streets, and right in front of billboards. Min's only fans not attending her bouts are busy either buying plush presents for her or developing new Mario Karts while daydreaming of a hypothetical sequel to a well-sold, albeit somewhat niche fighting game. Imagine the possible potentialities of pleasure that playing that game would provide. It's enough to make Mr. Yabuki's translator blush. Ahem. We're getting carried away here. The Pasta Pals unceremoniously wear the iconic Nintendo ramen beanie, but in doing so they are at least directly supporting the noodle shop through merchandise royalties. Through their beanie buying habits and ravenous ramen consumption, one does have to consider what exactly the chefs at Nintendo are putting in their recipes though.
Well, don't call me clown. Yeah, I'm gonna call you clown.
As we have seen, some ARMS fighter fan bases like to mimic their rivals' looks, to varying degrees of success. Unlike the few fans of the blue-haired tutorial character in the friendly fan base of the follicle-forward French actress, Lola Pop's jesters don't even make an attempt to copy the clown queen of ARMS' unique and sweet swirl of sticky hair. Instead, they pay homage to jokers of old, in a way that fits perfectly with the sucker punchers aesthetic, even down to their perfectly spherical round noses. Perchance these playful people are packing a hint of heat as well, though the cinnamon contents of their candies has yet to be scientifically tested or even remotely proven. Nonetheless, Lola Pop's delicious offerings bring a smile to all of her fans' faces, one only outshone by the grin procured from her incredible performances. While everyone in our world and in-game can enjoy her escapades, only fans directly clad in favor of the clown can show their spirit so strongly on the world's sweetest street. Regardless of their presence in front of Lola's restaurant or bis, the jester's allegiance never wavers and their hunger for more sweetness cannot be soured. Through positive actions alone, her fan base made it to the podium of this ranking, but of course there are 2 more fan bases waiting to be categorized.
And this here Snakey.
What's that lump in his belly?
Well, that's his dinner.
Even removing a certain half of this video's creators' bias, it can't be denied that Kid Cobra's fans are something special. They are like an invasive species in Snake Park, in a similar fashion to Min's Pasta Pals at Ramen Bowl, but the charmers are extra. In addition to cheering and chanting for the speed demon, some freaky fans can be seen stylishly snakeboarding. While they can be assumed to be unaffiliated with the Naja crew, their snakeboarding skills are still pretty impressive for humans without the ARMS ability. Surely their loyal dedication to watching his live streams and spamming nonsense in chat contributed to their resultant snakeboard skills. In Kid Cobra's Grand Prix ending, he can be seen deep within a pit of his fans who are near universally overjoyed at the opportunity. Sure, this could be seen as a bit parasocial, but that's conjecture at best. On the opposite end of the conjecture spectrum, there is the uber factual fact that the snakes atop the charmers' heads are alive. The nerve necessary for an entire collective to risk cobra bites is something that just Kid Cobra only fans can muster. There is a tiny, almost invisible chance that these snakes are simply props made of rubber, plastic, or papier-mâché, but does anyone really think that? They are certainly living and well kept by their owners, and there's nothing necessarily indicating otherwise.
Follow along with this song. You did right, mate. Did right, mate.
Our final fan base's home stage isn't the most sanitary of places. After all, it is a mausoleum. Considering Master Mummy's age, it likely smells pretty bad, and the atmosphere is quite off-putting too, with ghoulish glowing orbs, fear-inducing foliage, and humongous hands looming above you. You're exclusively surrounded by death and his fans, though some, including us, believe they are one and the same. Throughout your fight with the Grim Creeper, you'll likely feel a shiver through your spine as his ghastly bunch boo you regardless of each round's result. Can they even think for themselves, or are they too far gone? We suppose one can't easily resist the thrilling feeling of mass hatred, so they could just be emulating their master. Then again, Mr. Mummy seems pretty loving at the end of Grand Prix. Nonetheless, the army of the living dead has his very large mummified back no matter his temper. It's entirely possible that he was a ruler in ancient times and his currently blue-skinned fans are the now mummified remnants of said society. A creepy crew willing to care for their heavyweight king for that long? That's just unhealthy, but hey, it's also quite impressive. Master Mummy's OnlyFans being similarly reanimated gives them a unique bond with him too, and frankly it's hard to beat approximately 3,000 years of devotion. Their present day presence had to be pretty comforting during his journey to find his wife and offspring as well. We personally hope to see Mistress Mummy make it into the Arms League herself one day, mainly so we can see what her exquisite corpse clan has to offer, both in their actions and visuals. That wish doesn't impact the Army of the Living Dead ranking as our pick for the best arms fighter fanbase, but we figured we should flaunt it before this video's finale. Although, there is one more group of seemingly elusive fans looming within the current world of arms. Are we talking about the colorful crowds for every colored costume? The combatants who clamor for other competitors? Or maybe the bouncing yet to be born babies of arms as future fighter fanbases? No, those are all wrong. We are mentioning, as a pseudo 0th place on our ranking, the group we like to call the Hand Clan. There are individuals seen in rare instances, wearing bold and beautiful buff-inspired bonnets. You may be stating,
those are the same person.
Or,
those are so uncommon that you're just trying to waste everyone's time.
But in reality these are a minority of majority. Or should we say, a vocalization of the arms world's biggest majority. Audaciously ask anyone on the streets if they know who Buff is. The answer is always yes. This is no coincidence, because there's only one person that everyone, including the tutorial character, the barefoot Miss Angan, and even Arms' oldest female competitor likes, and that is Biff. No one has ever been publicly dismissive of the little yellow guy, and whenever he shows up everyone cheers, and crowds begin to form. It doesn't matter if he's directly within the battlefield, like it or not, every Arms fan is a Buff fan. We greatly thank you for taking the time to watch this video in its entirety. As an ill-timed reminder, we'll inform you that all fighters' fan bases have worth. None are outright terrible regardless of our insults thrown throughout this installment. If you feel so kind, we'd appreciate a like or possibly a subscription to our fine channel. You could also comment your own feelings on fans in the comments section, but more importantly, we urge you to share this video with your best friends, since smiling with company is better than smiling alone in a dark room. With some spare time you could also check out our other videos, which are similar, yet different to this one. With all of this said, have a pleasant remainder of your day and, Arms nice.